Okay.
Roll call, please.
Chairperson Patricia Barton, absent. Commissioner Miguel Funes,
Present.
Commissioner Margaret Phelps,
Present.
Attorney James Lamano,
Present.
Captain Chris Kelly.
Present.
All right, we're going to start this. We have a call. First, we have the one-day license.
We got the minutes first. We got minutes, yeah.
We have minutes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Did everybody read the meeting?
We did.
Are they in order? Should we vote on it that they are?
Yep. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January 17th, 2023 and February 17th, 2023.
Okay, second. All set?
Aye.
Okay, now we can move on to the one-day license. I have a one-day license for Gallery Lynn Arts, 25 Exchange Street, and that will be for April 7th, 2023, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30.
Is there anyone here for that? No?
Is anyone here for the Gallery Lynn Museum?
Okay.
I will entertain a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to approve the one-day license for Gallery of Lynn Arts on April 7th, 2023, and waive the fee as they're a nonprofit.
I'll second. All set, everybody is?
Aye.
Then we have another one-day license for Alicia Hill, Brigham, for the Leadership Foundation nonprofit organization. And that's at 590 Washington Street for the third annual fashion show, and that will be April 1st, 2023, from 6 to 10. I can entertain a motion for that one.
Make a motion to approve the one-day license for Alicia Hill Bingham Leadership Foundation for a one-day fashion show on April 1st, 2023.
Second.
Aye.
And then we have another one-day license for Lynn Museum, 590 Washington Street, for final Friday cultural on March 31st, April 28th, May 26th, June 30th, July 28th, August 25th, and September 29th, from 6 to 9.
I will make a motion to approve all of the one-day licenses for the 6 Fridays through March through September for the Lynn Museum and Historical Society, and we shall waive the fee as they are a nonprofit.
Okay, second. And those two guys.
Aye.
Another one-day license for the Lynn Museum, 590 Washington Street, for the annual meeting on Wednesday, May 31st, 2023, from 6 to 9 p.m.
Make a motion to approve the one-day license for the Lynn Museum and Historical Society on Wednesday, May 31st, 2023, for the annual meeting.
Second. And that's approved.
Aye.
All right. Then we have a change of officer manager. Change of officer, director, manager. For the Shaver Corporation, DBA, doing business as liquor and food mart, 53 Union Street. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm Attorney John Moretti, Democus Law Offices. With me is Herschel Patel. We're here for 2 requests. One is a change of manager on the liquor license to Herschel, and one is a change of director on the corporation to Herschel Patel. Herschel is the sole owner and officer of the corporation, and he owns the store. He recently received his citizenship papers, and we're requesting to change the license. He works at the store 40 hours already. He's tip certified, and they've had no issues since they bought it in 2018 or 19.
Congratulations.
I only have the request for the change of roof.
Yeah, that's the only one I had too. Do we have one for the change of director too? Or is it all in the same?
It's all in the same. Change the
Same application, okay, okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Attorney Lavana, what's the legal status?
No, everything seemed to be in order on this application.
I'll make a motion to approve the change in manager and director and for Enjoy Liquor and Food Mart, and that's it.
I second it. You in favor?
Aye,
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
congrats, good luck.
Thanks, guys. We have a new retail wine and beverage license. Pepsi, 1027 DBA Malone. And I understand this will be heard on the April meeting, is that correct?
There was a request for this to be moved to the April meeting. It was properly advertised by the clerk of the License Commission. It was the responsibility of the applicant to send out certified letters to abutters. The original attorney is out on a maternity leave, and a new attorney has come in to handle this moving forward. So it'll be in April, and I've made it clear to him if there needs to be an additional payment back to the city because of the advertisement costs that we incurred for the March meeting, that he'd be responsible for that.
Okay, great.
Do we need a motion on that, or we just make it for the next month on the,
A motion to accept the request for continuance would be proper.
Motion to accept the request for continuance for El Colmadon Market, 64 Franklin Street.
I'll second that? And we say yes or no?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, moving on to the transfer of the premises of alcohol beverage license at the Tequila's Bar and Grill, 80 Central, Emilio Arqueta, who's the owner, and Edwin Argueta. Yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Frank Lombardi, attorney on behalf of Tequila's Bar and Grill. So we had previously submitted an application which was approved by this board, I think sometime end of last fall. The board kicked it back to us, and then we recently are resubmitting the application. We have a different member of the family that's going to be the actual owner of the property. So the manager is staying the same. He has restaurant experience. He's going to be full-time. And he's already done the TIPS certification program. It's just a different family member is going to be an owner of the actual restaurant.
Any questions?
Yeah, just one to Attorney Lamanna. Do we want to give him the option to postpone until next meeting? Where there's only two of us here?
You do need your majority votes. No, we have a quorum.
We have-
But if it's a 1-1 vote, the motion would fail. So I just want to we've given this the option in the past for attorneys, because a tie vote is not a winning vote.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
If there's a possibility that we won't have approval today, then I would appreciate a continuance, if that's the case.
It may make sense just for a full board here, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So, is there any questions from a board member that I can answer possibly before?
Lieutenant Lemon, did you review the paperwork?
I did review the paperwork. What was the issue that the ABCC kicked it back? If it's just a query, they
It was a
could,
quarry issue.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't a quarry issue on the ABCC side. There was like an incomplete thing, but the city got it back. We corrected, the quarry was incorrect. We corrected the quarry, and then there was an issue on that.
and will that original person be part of the ownership team and all, or
No, they're not going to be part of the ownership team at all, so.
and management team?
No, so Edward was always going to be the manager. He's the one that has the experience. He was going to run it. It was just another family member that was going to be the technical owner, that's all.
So is that person you say is not going to be part of the,
No, they're not going to be part of the owner running it at all, or part of the, yeah.
and we got that paperwork back?
Yes, we revised the application, we submitted a whole new application. We took off that person, the application. He's not gonna have any ownership interest, and he's not putting any money into it, and like that, it's all coming from a different member of the family.
And how much experience do you have,
Edwin is,
Edwin?
sorry.
Yeah.
I have the pension, I have 2 years for 1 year restaurant.
I'm sorry.
How many years have you worked in a restaurant?
2 years.
2 years.
And how much management experience do you have? How long have you been a manager?
2 years.
He said, did you run the restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long did you run, were you running the restaurant? That year?
1 year.
Yes, please.
¿Qué pasó cuánto tiempo fuiste como trabajando en restaurante? About 2 years.
So in total, just 2 years' experience running and
Que solo
managing a restaurant?
Trabajando en un restaurante. Yes, only 2 years.
This is a small, there's only a 40-seat restaurant. I don't even, are they going to even have employees? It's all going to be family run, right?
Yeah, solo la familia van a estar ahí. Sí, yeah, most depend.
So, I mean, if you want me to ask for a continuance, I certainly will at this point.
I will probably recommend that.
Okay.
Yes. So we'll,
So do you want me to make a formal motion? How do you want me to,
I would make a formal motion.
do you want to invite a counselor, or what do you?
No, it could be verbal, but it'll,
Okay.
yeah.
So I ask for a continuance until your next meeting, which is what, April?
Third Tuesday, third Tuesday in April.
third Tuesday.
Third
It's the
Tuesday in April.
18th.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the request to postpone this until the April meeting.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
So this will continue to April of this year.
Thank you, Counselor.
And maybe perhaps it might be of interest to the board, just some backup information on what the restaurant that he ran before, the details about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I'll be in contact if they look for any information in the
Okay.
meantime to have for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Now we have an alteration of premises at the Nightshades pop-up, doing business as Nightshade Noodle Bar.
Hello.
Hi.
Aye.
Okay.
What do I do?
Well, you can introduce yourself.
My name is Rachel. I own Nightshade Noodle Bar. The alteration of premise license, we applied for to be able to serve liquor on the existing patio as it currently is. The patio was approved in the shutdown when we've been serving out there in the patio season since the patio was originally approved, but due to city laws and regulations evolving, we needed to apply for an alteration of premises to continue the same patio service.
Okay, do you have any plans or anything you can show us?
Plans.
Show us how it's extending out from your It's on the sidewalk, correct?
No, it's on.
On the street?
And it's been there for 3 years.
Jim, do you have anything?
So just way of background, in 2020 and 2020, when the COVID the pandemic started, in order to help restaurants survive, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts legislature allowed local boards to approve outdoor dining without getting any ABC approvals at all.
Right.
It was the only approval would be needed was from the License Commission. The city established a process where you could submit plans and an application to the License Commission, and there would be a review by the ward councilor, the parking department, the police department, the fire department, DPW, the mayor's office, and assuming that you got that approval, that would be it. You would be able to operate, and that was the case for calendar year 2020, calendar year 21, calendar year 22. Recognizing and anticipating that this would expire on April 1st. There was an outdoor dining policy that was approved by the council and the mayor that does require applicants now to make a formal application to the License Commission that will be forwarded to the ABCC moving forward.
Okay. I was under the impression those requests were going to come through the planning department, and they were going to submit a plan and the whole package with it. Is that incorrect?
That's my understanding too, but I know the planning department has been working with you. So I don't know. I would have expected that there would have been some drawing. I know it because I drive by it every day. The board knows it, but I think the ABCC would be looking for some plans in addition to what you submitted.
Again, we have not heard of that. I have been in communication with Lauren Draco on and off over the last few years about what is to come and what we would eventually need to do. We were not told at all that we would need to have any drawings prepared or do anything at all besides file this, which I did online, just file for the variance, which is exactly all that I was asked to do by the planning department, which I could prove via email.
I'm just going by when Lauren presented her proposal before the city council, she had a whole different plan of how this would come forth. So that's why I'm a little
correct.
confused.
After the council vote, if the portal is not up yet, there will be a portal where you fill in the application directly to the planning department.
Yes.
This went through the planning department?
Or it went through the portal. I don't, I just signed up for the portal the day that Lauren told me that I needed to apply the alteration of premise form. So then I just did that, and then I found out about this date, but otherwise have received no communication about this.
I thought there were going to be recommendations from the planning department to go along with this.
There still needs to be that review process. So, this could be, if you want to table it till April, I would recognize it's the April 21st meeting. By the time the ABCC approves it, that could be in May, and there could be a loss of some income. So another option would be to approve it so long as the planning department is satisfied that all other aspects of the policy has been adhered to. If Lauren were here, I would ask, but this is one of the steps, and this is the first application that we received. So I don't want to, no reason to believe that the business owner didn't have those discussions with Lauren. I can run down and see if she's in there.
We want to do that?
Yeah,
And then we can
yeah.
get this, so you don't have to wait. Do you mind?
I get Lauren down here and see the process.
They did, just because they rolled out a whole process.
They just rolled it out, yeah.
You know what I mean? So we want to make sure that we're not doing anything that they didn't want us to do, that's why and I listened to that whole thing, that's why I kind of know what she said.
How many people?
How many people on the patio?
Yes.
Technically, we could fit up to 55, but we don't intend on having more than 30. Like, as far as, code goes, we could fit up to 55, but just for personal comfort. It's a lot of people. And we also live across the street from the restaurant, from the patio, so we're well aware and integrated in the community and don't really want to pack it and be loud and disruptive. But as I spoke with Lauren, it would be exactly the same as we've done for the last few years. Like, we had a clear conversation about what the process was going to be. It wasn't until a few weeks ago, the day that I actually sent in the application, that she even had an idea of what the next steps were. And we just wanted to be ahead of it enough so that we could open the patio as soon as possible, start utilizing it.
Doesn't the police also have to do like a review of the safety?
I think Attorney Romano mentioned the fire department, DPW as well.
Right.
We've had all of our normal inspections year after year, which is included outside, if that's helpful. So, what would stop this from happening?
Because when she, like I said, when she did her presentations before the city council, she laid out the whole process of how it would actually fold out. And it was approval by several different departments in City Hall. And that the recommendation would come through the planning department. So,
Well, I thought that this meeting was for a totally separate business and liquor license that I had applied for. It wasn't until 15 minutes before we arrived that we found out that it was for this particular issue. So I think there's a lot of confusion.
yeah. Yeah, because you're extending your liquor license outside as well, so that's why it's here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
separate.
yeah.
Right.
But as far as like you using the city sidewalk, that really doesn't have anything to do with us, and whether it's a health and safety problem, that would be the health department, and that would be the Lynn Police and the fire department, to make sure that the apparatus, the fire apparatus could still get down the street. So that's why all those departments have, and there's supposed to be a sign-off sheet to each department, that, like when you applied before, there was a sign-off sheet that accompanied this paperwork to say that everybody was on board, it was okay to go forward. And then we would just approve that you could extend your liquor license to the outside patio. That's what our role was it. So,
And that's correct. I did speak with Lauren. There is a separate portal. There is an application for alteration of premises on the License Commission website, which you did properly fill out, but there is an ISD portal that has that department by department sign off. So by the time you're here, I can say, and I don't want to speak for the board, this board has been very, very willing to have special meetings in order to make sure restaurants that want to go outside can go outside. So I don't want to speak truly, but if you get into that portal, the chairperson is not here. She has the ability to call special meetings. So you don't have to wait till April 21st. I'd certainly advocate to have some meeting if assuming all the checkers have been hit. We knew you were interested, so this is not a surprise, and I don't anticipate a problem, but just to go through that, the checks and to checks, it's a little unique because I know that you've talked about possibly having it out in front of your Nightshade Noodle Bar, but also just your second business right there. There's also an opportunity for the ward council to weigh in and other businesses to be notified in case they have, not to the neighbors have a right to say, and then so obviously there's a bagel joint next door, and they may say, can it be cut down, and they allow for a bit. I'm not saying that they would, but there's an opportunity, at least for the neighbors, to have some input. So we're getting in that portal with special services, Zosher, Zosher up in special services should be sending it to all the appropriate departments to get the check off of the ward councilor, make sure that the neighbors are notified to the extent the ward councilor feels more comfortable, at least giving the neighbors an opportunity to say it. And that's not a long process. And then I do think there's a very good chance there could be a special meeting just to address this, so you don't have to wait till April 21st and lose the month of May. Because there is an expense to this. This is new, that we've never charged before. There will be space, a cost for the parking spaces that are being given up, and there's an additional fee of, I think, $200 on top of the $2,500 liquor license. So our goal is to encourage people that want to do this and not have you lose a month of business that you decide not to do it for that reason.
So basically,
We're going to postpone this.
we're the only business open after 2 o'clock on Exchange Street. Both of my businesses are the only ones open. There's no foot traffic, there's no competition, there's nothing on Exchange Street.
I mean, I can.
Parking spaces, because I'm.
No, I can understand.
Anyone to the
No.
block.
I don't want to speak for any. Councilor Starbird, when it was passed, brought up your restaurant and specifically says, I like One Mighty Mill. If I drive there and I find a parking space, I'll run in. If I don't find a parking space, and he brought up at the meeting, is there a way that maybe a space could be opened up? Councilor Starbird doesn't have a say in this. It's not his ward, but he did throw that up. I don't disagree with you that your hours are not in competition with One Mighty Mill, but it's not as if you pull in the whole outdoor patio setup and then roll it out at when at lunchtime. So, and again, I'm not saying that the board's going to say no or the ward council's going to say no. We want you to thrive, but
There's, like payroll, there's a lot of things at stake here. There's a lot of jobs that people are waiting for. There's income that you don't get either if I can't open the patio. And I want to know beyond this laundry list of surprises that we've received in this meeting, if there are any more secrets.
I'm not sure. I don't think there's any secrets. I don't think there's any secrets.
This.
No, I think actually speaking to Lauren, she was surprised that you submitted this without going to the portal. So I don't believe there are secrets.
She told me to go through the portal.
Oh.
She gave me the link.
Okay.
I have the email. I don't, we can't continue.
If you'd like, we can have the board can make a motion to postpone this to April 21st if you'd like. We're willing to get you into the portal, have the email sent out to the police, the fire department, and the various departments, and perhaps have a special meeting, maybe as soon as next week, if the schedules permit.
Okay, so I'm clear. I should email Lauren and ask her for explicit instruction on how you guys now want to go through this, which is different than the conversation I had weeks ago when I submitted this.
Well, if you submitted it weeks ago, then it wasn't valid because we didn't have a policy in place. That was done at the last council meeting.
But to answer your question, that's probably a good idea, to call Lauren, say, what do I need? Do your due diligence, and then as soon as you're done, give Laura Lee a call, and we're not going to hold you up, but we want to make sure everything's in place.
Of course, I do too.
Yes, so we're,
The information
Yep.
existed in the first place.
so, right.
Do this properly.
Well, this is a new policy, and it just, until it's rolled out correctly, then we'll get it done. But we're not going to hold you up in any way once all the paperwork's in place.
So I'm gonna notate this for the emergency. If it comes in.
We need a motion on that?
A motion I don't believe that it needs to be a motion. It just hasn't been approved this evening. It certainly hasn't been denied.
Okay.
And it did not go through the portal that Lauren was able to confirm that.
But right now, we're just gonna hold this until they deal with the permit.
Yes, yep.
We can have, like I said, emergency. Okay.
The hearings.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the hearings now. And we have Euphoria nightclub.
Good afternoon. Members of the board, Attorney David Les Browns, 70 Andrew Street, Lynn, Mass. You have Christian Delobe, the owner of Club Euphoria. If I could, Mr. Chairman, I conference this matter with Attorney Lamanna. Mr. Delobe is willing to voluntarily close the business if there's no discipline, because he's in the process of selling it. So if there's open discipline, the ABCC will entertain a transfer. So we have an agreement to sell it to a new group no family members of Mr. Delorme, nothing to do with Mr. Delorme. So we'd ask that you allow him to close it as of this Monday. And we can go forward with the transfer of the assets and what have you.
When do you intend to close the business?
Monday.
Well, it's more of a,
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the sale of the business.
yes, we're in the process right now of selling it. We're representing Mr. Delorme, Attorney Sam Vitale is representing
The buyers.
the buyers. And we're going back and forth with the purchase and sale agreement, which lawyers do. There's a deposit check ready to go in, so it's active. We started a transfer application, if you will. And I don't think there's gonna be any problem with the new group. There'll be a whole new business plan, change of name, et cetera.
If I may, again, this is the discretion of the board how to proceed. If the applicant, the board was inclined to accept this, the liquor license would be turned in immediately. The soonest that an application could be heard would presumably be the April 21st hearing, and then at that point, it would be sent to the ABCC for approval of the new owner. So the business would be shut down in well in excess of 30 days. So that's just something to factor in whether.
So you're closing it immediately on Monday, the 27th?
I could close it today if you want. I only open Saturday and Sundays anyways.
But if you close it, but the attorney is saying that you're going to be closed for at least over 30 days.
I understand it's a proposal we submitting to the board in case there was going to be any discipline towards us, because that will hold
Yes. Yep.
the sale of the business.
Take the license and hold it at her desk, and we'll proceed with the transfer if that's okay.
I would be comfortable with that
Okay,
if we didn't stay open the weekend.
perfect. We'll do that. So you want me to bring it in tomorrow? Sure. I'll bring it in tomorrow.
Okay.
Sure. We'll do
Will you
that.
entertain a motion then?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept your proposal to close your business as of tomorrow morning.
As of, I don't open till Saturday and Sunday, but I really understand.
Oh,
We don't open only on weekends, but
and proceed with your sale.
thank you.
Second?
Thank you, madam.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Good luck on your business.
Yeah, good luck. Yep.
Moving on to, we have La Fonda.
How you doing?
Hi.
Your name, sir?
Saúl Fuentes?
And you own the place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you know why you're here?
Yes.
Okay. There's been a lot of complaints, I guess, on noise is one thing, and then lack of control and management.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have a tenant in the second floor. He likes to drink a lot. We give a chance for him to drink in the bar. He started with noises, and he's the one who called the police. Just because we don't sell the drink after he's drunk. But we have taken some measures. We stand to make a new door. I have pictures of here. I want to see it. We have double doors in case the sounds go into the front of the property house. Plus, we have sent to insulate the walls to stop the noise to go outside so strong. Besides that, we have plans to buy one of those equipment to control the highest volume of the music. With some monitors that we can level it, and that way the music don't go too high. We choose to insulate the walls to see if we can stop the noise to go out. Pictures if you want to see the new,
No,
the new door.
That's okay.
Right, but the door alone isn't going to help the noise. You're going to need sound panels,
Yeah.
attenuation.
The,
You're going to need an attenuation plan for that.
the city is prepared for that. The only noise I do make hear it is when they open the door. The only one door was existing, but now we have two doors. One is gonna help us to conserve the door.
Yeah, right, because one will close and they're automatic closures, yeah.
Maybe that is gonna help.
And the fact that you have to turn the music down.
Yeah.
And I know the people that, built the condo, the rental apartment building next to you,
Yeah,
they were here there first, but
That's what I think they are complaining.
I know, but you know what, that's a residential and they had the right to build that as well, and you have the right to,
The only thing
to do your business.
Before.
It does, yeah, that's not
when they
an
do it,
argument. Yeah,
They're gonna have,
I know, it's not an argument,
On both sides.
right.
But we try to promise to cut down on the volume of the music. And I hope the new door is gonna help us to eliminate a little bit of that.
I can say, in fact, I don't want to speak to Captain Kelly, the police reports that we're receiving, the police are hearing the music as well
Right.
as they approach.
Yeah, I would agree. Just reviewing the reports, there were instances where the door was open when the officers responded. So obviously having that door open is going to allow that music to freely be loud for the neighbors. And it was at an unreasonable level. They said they could hear it from across the street. So I would agree with turning down the music and having new doors in place should hopefully curb some of these complaints for noise violations.
Yeah. We can do that. That's the route. So I don't want the customer to go in the back of the building that is no parameter there and go around because first thing is unsafe to go over there. The door, the main door is the one that have to get in and out. But maybe this second door
3 days in
is
advance,
gonna help.
or 3 days in advance.
Help
days.
save the cost. But I know one of them is the one who,
Yeah,
when he's drinking,
that we can do, I can set
they don't let him in.
these
He's the
measures. It'll be in the
Thank you for sending me this, in my email. The reverse is a better way to do it because some of they restore it with the others. I don't know. Thank you. Now you can give me.
Okay, so we appreciate that you're taking measures to control the noise. We think that more measures can be taken, but we'll give you some time for that. And you'll agree to turn down the music. This is a disciplinary action that we're going to take. So what I'm going to make a motion for is to give you a 7-day shutdown, but we're going to keep that in abeyance. So you don't have to do anything. If within 6 months we get additional noise complaints, you're going to have to serve that time. Okay. But you can keep it open. Yep, we're just going to go hold them in abeyance. So
Okay.
it allows you to conduct your business as normal, but keep the noise down.
Okay.
And that's-
The opportunity to talk to you guys. Do we have any plans to have a patio this year? Isn't the lady, what is the feedback that we need to figure out to have a patio?
Do you have space to have a patio?
I have a space in the back.
What you should do is you should talk to Lauren, who's in the planning department, tell her what you'd like to do. She'll pull up your site map, she'll see where, it's appropriate to go, and you can go on from there.
Do you need inspections to go and check the patio?
They will do everything, yeah.
Okay.
But she'll give you some solid advice as to where she thinks it's appropriate, where it's gonna add some value to your business. Right, Jim?
Yeah, yeah.
It was like today is a nice day. and
It's a gorgeous day, yeah.
Everything outside.
Yeah. Yep, she's in the planning department. Do you know what room that is?
It's, if you come up here and take a right past the elevators, it's the second office down. I don't know the office number, but it's the second door down on your right.
Okay?
So you understand exactly what you just explained to you?
Yes.
And we're gonna hold the 7 days in advance, and that's gonna last for 6 months.
After 6 months.
No,
Yes, after 6 months, it goes away.
It goes away.
Oh, okay.
After 6 months, it
But if
goes away.
anything happens, then we'll shut you down for 7 days.
7 days. So you don't want that. We don't want to see you.
Yeah, no. Other bills to pay. Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, good luck. Okay. And now we-
And now we have El Malecon, 170 Union Street, hearing.
Good afternoon again, Attorney David Westfront, here with the owner, Christian Delorbey, on this hearing.
I'd like to hear from the police department first. So, he has to say.
Are you looking for the report mentioned in the, for the hearing?
Yeah,
Yeah, so Lynn Police Report 22086517. This was dated on Christmas 12/25 of 2022. At 21:31 hours, the police responded for a report of a fight. The reporting party stated there was 6 persons about to fight out in front of the establishment. Several units were dispatched and responded. They were met with the reporting party and owner, Christian Delorbey. I will add that he did call the police. He explained that he was in the kitchen and heard a loud commotion. He ran out to the front of the restaurant. When he made his way out there was a large group of individuals gathering and appeared to be getting ready to fight. Christian did have 2 security guards working that evening. After seeing the large group, he decided it was best to call the police and not to endanger the 2 security guards. A group of 3 individuals got located on Smith Street, which is on the side of the business at 170 Union Street. The officers had a conversation with several of these people. There had been injuries indicating there was already a fight prior to the police arrival. One person had bruising and a small laceration on his forehead. And at that point, one of the persons claimed to be a patron inside the bar and stated that he was hit with what he believed to be a beer bottle inside the bar. He did not know who struck him with that beer bottle. No suspects were located. The victim that stated he was struck with that bottle said that was his first time in the establishment for El Malecon. He's not from around the area. He did not require any further medical attention. The police were informed by Christian, the owner, Delorbey, that he did have camera footage inside the bar and that he would be checking for possible surveillance video to establish if that took place or not. Those are the facts of the case.
And they called the police?
Yes, so I would note that Christian did call the police and did have 2 security guards working. He felt, I think at that point, that his security guards were outnumbered, and it would be the best interest to have the police come down and assist with breaking up this group that was being a little rowdy out front.
Was there any evidence of over-serving or anything?
No, and the allegation of being struck with the bottle was not confirmed through anybody else other than what the victim had said.
Mr. Chairman, I asked the captain one clarification on the reports, if I may. Captain, I believe the report I read, the victim refused medical attention.
Yeah, I thought I noted that. What I said was there was no medical attention offered, but he did decline. But you are correct.
Thank you.
He didn't require anything further.
Thank you.
Yeah.
yes, I do. So the fight first started in the bar?
Well, if I could.
Okay.
I'll answer that. There was a claim the fight started in the bar. There was no evidence of, on the film.
Can I,
No, I want you to be quiet this time. Thank you. There was no evidence that he could find of any kind of fight. There may have been an argument, but there was no physical altercation there inside the bar. In addition to that, he could not find a broken beer bottle anywhere inside the premises. And as I noted with the captain, the alleged victim himself refused any further medical treatment.
But he was hit with something. An angel said he was hit in the bar.
They seem to be gathering outside to waiting for someone. I said, I'll call the police. That's when I came out to,
So those folks were not in the bar?
yes, they were.
They were in the bar?
Yes.
And then they went outside and,
They're looking for someone to hit,
Okay.
to jump or something.
Were there any witnesses to the altercation?
No, sir. We ask cops, police ask everybody.
I believe this is a case of an argument starting inside that was brought out to the parking lot. And I'm not denying that poor guy got hit in the side of the head, but we couldn't find anything to substantiate, and the police didn't come back. The follow-up, he refused medical, and I presume as a result of that, refused any further investigation of it.
Lieutenant Lamana, you have anything?
No.
Did you say anything? You want to do the same thing?
Chris, when you looked at the film, did it indicate anything?
No, we were unable to substantiate his claim of being struck with a bottle inside the establishment, as well as conduct a further investigation. He did not cooperate with us after the initial.
Okay.
I can do. Want to do the 7 days?
You do? Okay. Oh,
We're gonna do the 7 days in advance. We're gonna hold off for the 6 months. Okay? If anything happens. Awesome.
Not acceptable.
Huh?
Not acceptable.
Of course.
Okay. Thank you very
Anything the board does is acceptable.
okay.
I can entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion to suspend your license for 7 days. However, we'll keep it in abeyance for 6 months. If no further reports come in for your establishment, we'll release it in 6 months.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Aye.
So I remain open, right? Is that
You
right?
can remain open, yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Now that you only operate in one bar, it'll be a lot easier to keep an eye on things.
Soon I will be operating this one.
Okay.
See you. Thank you.
It's gone, I'm too old.
That's it.
Okay.
Were you waiting for something? No. Oh. Yes, but that's only for the report.
Yeah, you don't have to appear. Yeah, you don't have to appear.
That's only for the report.
Yeah.
I have to come back. Thank you.
If we need you,
What we'll do is review the report and then.
Thank you.
Sorry you had to wait so long.
That's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so far so good. We're gonna, what is this? Okay, we can hear the police reports.
I'll go through these reports. Some of them I'll indicate they're supplemental reports. It's actually the same incident with multiple reports, but I'll let you know clarification wise. So the first one falls in that category. It's report number 23010020 dated 2/14 of 23. These are both for La Chingada at 160 Franklin Street. And in this case, the initial police report and the second one is slash number 2. That's the same incident. And what happened on that date, it was the police responded to a disturbance. I'll note for that disturbance call, was it 1:10 hours, so after closing. There was an argument inside the establishment. The owner was on scene, Rudy Ozoko. There were two patrons, both intoxicated, inside the bar. They were arguing with the owner and the bartender over paying a $315 cash bill. I'll just note from the report, the officers described the individuals as slurring their speech. One was out of control, climbing the bar stools and yelling at the bartender, refusing to pay the bill. Also, I'll note in the police report that Rudy Ozoko, the owner, claimed that both parties were already intoxicated before entering La Chingada, but they still continued to serve both of them. It only made them more intoxicated. What ended up happening was one of the, out of the two male patrons that were intoxicated, the police went to place one into protective custody due to his level of intoxication. The second individual assaulted a police officer, and they both became assaultive. They were both arrested on scene for assault and battery and a police officer resisting arrest. That's what generated the second report, because there were two individuals placed into custody at that location. Again, in the report, the second one was described as very intoxicated, bloodshot eyes, slurring speech. Just paints the same level of high intoxication, and became very belligerent and assaultive to the police officers.
So what is the current status? This is, this,
Remind you that he's already
yes, this
surrendered
is, right, he's
his
surrendered his license, right,
So he's not open.
right, okay. That's what I just wanted to confirm.
But it's
that.
already, this was old.
Yep, nope, just wanted to confirm that he was closed, yep, great,
And he's actually transferring ownership, right? That's
It's in the process, yes.
yeah.
So this will be the third one down. This is report number 230102888. This is on also February 14th of 2023. This is the Tequila Restaurant, 80 Central Avenue. On this call here, the police were dispatched at 9:27. Actually, I'm sorry, 11:27 for a loud noise call. They went to that location on Central Ave. They spoke to the manager, identified as Alfredo Argueta. They heard loud music. They spoke to the manager, asked him to turn it down, and he did so and complied with the request after the noise call was received to the police station for loud noise. And that was the end of that call.
What do you want to do?
This. Noise. Let's bring him in. We need to make sure that he knows exactly what's going on.
Did you hear that? Yep. Yeah.
And that's going to be just the
Conference?
conference.
The next report for the Lynn Police was 230106765. This is dated February 16th of 2023. This is for the Eclipse Lounge and Grill located at 47 Central Avenue. The police received a call for loud noise in the area of Monroe Street. I'll have note that this is obviously not the location of the establishment, but according to the responding officers for the loud music call, you could hear it from all the surrounding streets. The music was so loud. They got to the location and confirmed the loud music was coming from that 47 Central. They did note that the front door of the business was propped open. They spoke to Mr. Banny, who was in charge of the music that evening, and told him to turn it down, and he obliged and turned down the music. But just of note in that report that the music could be heard from several surrounding streets. And the original call was generated from 145 Monroe Street.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We're going to do the
Conference.
conference again.
The next report we have is 2301079. And of note, if you look at the licensed established reports, Las Vegas Bar appears for the next several reports. Most of these are intertwined, and I'll just explain that it's pretty much one person that generated several police reports. The first report, the police got called for a disturbance involving a patron trying to fight another patron. This person was removed and no trespassed. So that's a separate incident on the 16th. That person was removed from the establishment and giving a verbal no trespass not to come back to the establishment. The next three reports are involving an individual that was eventually placed into protective custody due to his high level of intoxication. This report number is 230-10796. The call came in at 2:50 in the morning for a male passed out on Liberty Street, not wearing a jacket. The police were familiar with this person upon arrival due to his several other interactions from Las Vegas bar. But at this call here at 2:50 in the morning, he was placed into protective custody due to his high level of intoxication. The other police reports that he generated is number 230-10783. This was a call that came in at that location at on Monroe Street for Las Vegas bar. The same individual that was later put into protective custody stated that he was jumped and his phone was missing from that location. The police were unable to confirm any suspects or locate his phone at that point. And then a little while later, there's another police report, number 230-10976, involving, oh, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. But it's confusing, but what happened was the police located his phone and returned his phone to him on Washington Street in Lynn. And he was supposedly calling an Uber to go home. And that's a little while later, he went and passed out on Liberty Street after getting his phone back on Washington Street. So confusing to say the least. I'm confused just reading it, but this same individual generated 3 different reports over a period of time. But the gist of this story is he came out of Las Vegas bar highly intoxicated, and due to his intoxication, it led him to lose his phone, regain his phone, and then subsequently fall asleep on Liberty Street.
But might have been late.
Yes, and ended up in protective custody for the evening. So those are the several Las Vegas incidents, but really one individual generated 3 of those.
Yeah, we're gonna have a hearing.
Yeah.
And next up, we have 2 City Hall reports. This is a supplemental issue as well. So the first report is 2301-0976. This is on February 17th. The second report is the supplement to the first report. In this case here, what happened was security officers, paid security, went over to a group that smuggled in some alcohol. It was a margarita mix in a wine bottle. The security was telling these people they had to leave for sneaking in alcohol. The Lynn police officer working the paid security details saw these 2 males not complying with the security officers originally asking them to leave. He went over to assist. While assisting, an intoxicated female interceded, and she refused to leave, and this ended up in her subsequent arrest. Yuli Sanchez, 40-year-old female from Lynn, was arrested for disorderly conduct and refusing to leave. So those incidents, although there's 2, it's really one incident where the security discovered them having a margarita mix and a wine bottle inside of the establishment, and then asking them to leave. Police officer came involved into assist security, and you had a intoxicated female that interjected and was out of control and eventually arrested.
Okay. Set that for the file.
Yeah, and then
The next one is for the Asian Garden, 8 Market Street, report number 230-11179, dated February 18th of 2023. This was a call for a fight at this location. The police did note in the report that a female claimed to have been punched inside by somebody. What happened was there was a group of females that left their table to go outside and have a cigarette. When they came back in, someone else had sat down at their table. An argument ensued over the who the table belonged to, and according to one of the females, that she was struck. The police were unable to locate any suspects and order was restored once police got there. There was no medical attention needed for the female that was struck.
So the restaurant didn't have anything to do with our serving or anything like that. It's just they went outside, was smoked, they came back, somebody said,
Correct.
just,
Yes.
a letter for the farmers.
And then we have two for the Rancho Grande Restaurant on 408 Summer Street. This is also a supplemental report. So you had 23011-392, and the second report with the same number /2 was the supplement. So in this one here, it deals with two different things. One was a domestic between two brothers. According to one of the brothers, he was trying to get his brother to leave the establishment because he was highly intoxicated, trying to fight several patrons inside. Once that brother took him outside, he said he was assaulted by that brother. He admitted to assaulting him back, and the two of them basically got into a fist fight outside of the establishment. One victim had a laceration to his face. He was highly intoxicated. That's the brother that was trying to stop the fights inside of the establishment. I would say more concerning than the outside fight was when the police entered to further investigate that fight between the brothers outside. They went inside well after closing. They got this call originally at 1:30 in the morning, and I'll read from the report. When the police officers went inside to check the establishment, they walked into the unlocked restaurant. They observed approximately 10 to 15 people sitting at the bar. Some were counting money and stated they were employees, while others were consuming alcoholic beverages. The police officers noted that all the individuals were well beyond the time of being able to sell and consume alcohol. They observed at least 5 cups of alcohol in multiple shot glasses, all which had alcohol inside of them. The individuals were very uncooperative with the police, asking them, trying to investigate the incident. I described the domestic between the brothers, and basically said it had nothing to do with the bar and were uncooperative. The police noted there was a vehicle parked on the sidewalk, which was completely blocking access to pedestrians. They checked, and the vehicle belonged to the owner, and they asked him politely to please move his vehicle, which he responded he wasn't going to remove it, write me a ticket. Refused to remove that vehicle that was completely blocking the sidewalk. The officers did issue a parking ticket, and at that time, they just noted that there were highly intoxicated people that came from the bar that subsequently got arrested for that domestic fight, and then the late night drinking with the 15 people inside and all the alcohol on top of the bar, and then the uncooperative behavior of the owner was all noted in that police report.
So the owner was uncooperative?
According to them, in the police report, that the owner was not only uncooperative with trying to learn as to what happened that led to that fight between the two brothers outside, but they also noted that his car was completely blocking the entire sidewalk on Summer Street, and asked him to move the car, and he said he wasn't moving it to, quote, write me a ticket, which the officers did give him a parking ticket, but refused to move his car.
Madam for him. Thank you. Thank you for that report.
Thank you.
Communications, do we have any communications, anything? No.
No, okay, no.
Okay, any new business?
No.
All business?
No.
All the business?
No.
So you wanted me to,
We adjourn.
well, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.